I am all out of Kahlua. I am not happy on the road to 40 right now. I'll survive, I guess. I notice that everything ends in a giggle after I say it lately. See? It's unintentional. I got a lot to talk about tonight, so we're going to just delve right on into this stuff tonight. When I miss a night, all the stuff builds up that I want to say, and I start collecting new ideas and thoughts, and it's so much easier reading with these on. Alright. What to tackle first is really the issue here. The issue at hand. Well, let me just fill you in on some information. Some exciting news. Unfortunately, it's not going to affect me at all, but I believe Lebowski Fest this year, Jeff Bridges and the Abiders are playing. I think they're pretty good. I like them. I'd love to attend that. One of these years, I'm going to get around to it. Maybe I can kill two birds with one stone, like one year when it's somewhere that I've been wanting to visit or something like that. I don't know. Either way, I've got to get to one of those, especially if Jeff Bridges is going to be there, because I think that would be the icing on the cake. You know what I mean? Well, let me explain to you what I'm drinking tonight, because I don't know what it is. I made one last night. It's vodka, some weird orange liqueur that someone left. Oh, my friend Zana left at the last time we had a party. I think it might have been my birthday party. I don't know. And then some orange pineapple juice. And tonight I skipped the grenadine. Last night I put grenadine in, and I regretted it. It just made it a little too sweet. And this is already too sweet as it is. So I'm going to have to get some, well, I don't get Kahlua because, let's face it, Kahlua is expensive. So I go with the Ghetto brand. Usually Kapali. I don't know if they sell that everywhere or not. Like, sometimes, like, things have different names in different places. Isn't that a funny thing? Like you can't, well, just recently you were able to start getting Fluffernutter around here, which was awesome. I was like, Carol sent me a picture of it on my phone, and I was like, oh my god, Fluffernutter, get it. I think I ate it once since we got it, but it's just those things that remind you of home, like Autocraft, I don't even remember what it's called. The last time Jess came to visit us, she brought us some, Jess Brunel, and it was delightful. Coffee, milk. You can't get that around here. They look at you like you got two heads on. They're like, do you want us to mix coffee and milk? No, I don't. I want coffee-flavored milk. Get it. See my rage? See how enraged I am? Because I don't have my Kahlua. Oh, you're a sloppy, dirty, dirty drink. Not happy with you right now. You know what I am happy with? Well, I can't say I'm happy with it. I have a confession to make. Let's take a moment here. This isn't funny, actually. It's not a real confession of any sort, but, like, I don't know how to say it. I feel like I know I mentioned this in one of the first videos, where, like, I'm always very worried. In certain circumstances, I'm very worried about what people are going to think. And this is one of those circumstances. A lot of things I could care less what people think about. But as of yesterday, I don't want to say I threw in the towel on it, but I made the decision to start eating meat again. And for, not necessarily for health, but for, I don't know how to say this. I feel terrible because I love animals. But I'm eating the same crap, and I've tried a lot. I really have. I know a lot of people have been like, well, you haven't tried this, you gotta try this, gotta try this. And I've tried so much, and I have a very, I don't know how to explain it. Like, it's gotta have a shit ton of flavor for me to be able to enjoy it. And I'm not saying meat is the answer to that. And I'm gonna try to be a little bit more, I mean, I know there's no ethical way to eat meat. But I'm gonna try to at least get some decent meat. Maybe go to farmers markets, local markets, and get it that way rather than just getting, the clearance meat at Kroger or something like that. So I do feel bad about it. I feel horrible about it. But I don't know. I can't really explain it. I'm not going to try to make excuses and say, well, I need to eat meat because there's no reason. I really don't think I need to eat meat. I think there are people that do need higher quantities of protein or whatever. I still think you can get it other ways, but nonetheless, if you choose to eat meat, I understand that. I'm just having a hard time dealing with the ethical side of it, and I don't want to bring this down or anything like that, but, you know, it's rough. It's rough. And I think I'm being punished for it. Not physically, but just emotionally. I'm being punished for making this decision. And I may go back to being a vegetarian after a little while, but I don't know. I mean, I will say this. Part of it's summer. When summer comes around and you start smelling people grilling and stuff like that, I know some people, especially, I think I went 8 months, almost 8 months without eating meat. And most of that time, I never even desired it. And the other day, I think somebody was grilling in the neighborhood, and I was just like, it just hit me like a ton of bricks. And I started questioning, you know, I always did tell myself I hadn't eaten my last ribeye steak. I love ribeye steak. No, maybe I should just go cannibal. At least that way I'm just eating my own kind. Huh? Is that oh, you can't do that. I'm being informed you cannot eat people. Well, there goes that opportunity. I hate you. I hate you, drink. You're dirty and you're naughty and you're not nice. All right. So yeah, let's see here. I know I discussed in the preview earlier certain things, and I am gonna tackle most of those. Let's see. Okay, yeah, Lebowski Fest. Oh, okay. I'll tell this one, and then I'm gonna take these off while I'm not reading. I had a weird dream last night. It keeps popping into my head throughout the day, like I'll forget about it all day. It's one of those dreams that I can remember in great detail, everything about it, like it was so real. I was in Virginia Beach, and you know how, well, if you go to any like boardwalk area, you know how it is, how the shops are set up to like just draw, you know, tourists in and sell them cheap crap that's going to break before they get home. Well, I was there, but I wasn't going into a cheap crap store. I was going into a retro video game store that used to be there, which really was never there, but in my dream I knew that it used to be there, and they had reopened in a new location. And now this is funny because I remember this actually correlates back to another dream I had 2 or 3 years ago. The old location was actually in a dirt mall in Taunton somewhere, or Rainham, but neither of the two that exist. It was weird. I remember in that dream, Corey and I said, I just want to go to the dirt mall. I did that actually when I came up to visit. Because it's one of those things that they just don't have it around here. They've got no flea markets, nonetheless. So in that dream we went and they were just closing, and I was like, well, we tried, whatever. In this dream, I remember that retro video game store being at that dirt mall. So I was wandering through this new area, and I saw one of the sales clerks or something that I must have recognized. I was like, hey, how you doing? They're like, yeah, we just reopened the shop today. You got to check it out. So I'm with Griffin. I don't know why I'm just with Griffin. And so we go in, and it looks really cool. You know, they've got all these old Nintendos and Ataris and old toys, and it's just a store built for nerds like me. And he said, yeah, you got to go upstairs. There's a live snake act. I'm like, what? He's like, you just got to check it out. So me and Griffin go upstairs, and we go into this room. It's more of like almost like a sanctuary of a church, a smaller one. Everything's got, the walls are darker up here. I don't know if they're wood. They're not black. And there's lots of like people setting up almost like a convention with tables, and they're just selling their wares there. And this lady's walking around. She must be like like she works at a zoo or something. She's got like a safari thing on. And this, I think it's an albino python, but I'm not sure. It's the ones, really big. It must have been about 10 feet long, and she's got it around her neck, barely holding it up. And it keeps looking at Griffin. It's one of the ones that's kind of a cream color with orange markings on it. So maybe that's not albino. I don't know. I think it's a caramel python. Delicious. So she keeps smacking it every time it looks at him. And finally they're going to do this snake show. And they go behind this glass window this woman and the snake, and they close it off. And she lays down. This isn't getting gross or anything like that, so don't tune out. And she puts the snake's head, which is about this big now. All of a sudden, it's like a big, massive snake head, in like a long plastic clear tube. And it starts hissing at me and Griffin again. And I don't know. First of all, I don't know why she's lying down. I don't know why they're in this window. I don't know why she put that on the thing's head. If you got any ideas, put them in the comments below. And suddenly it starts snapping at the window. And I mean, its open mouth is like just huge, and it's kind of terrifying. And the woman reaches up to grab it, and it grabs onto her arm. And it just starts twisting, and blood is going everywhere. And finally, somehow, either she has a third arm or she was managed to grab it, and she twisted the head off of it. And just blood was everywhere, and Griffin was there, and he saw it, but we knew for some reason that snake really didn't like us. And so I got him out of there, and we ran out, and we went back to the beach or something. And after that, I don't remember anything. But, I mean, maybe it's a meat thing. Maybe there's a correlation between eating meat again and the snake wanting to kill me. Maybe I ate a snake or something and I didn't know about it. Maybe in my sleep I ate a snake. I don't know. Yeah, so that's my snake dream story. That was weird. I don't have dreams like that very often. And vivid ones like that I remember clearly, never. Well, when they happen, they're very clear. But they happen so infrequently that I don't remember them. Which is too bad, because dreams and nightmares are fun. Even the most terrifying of nightmares. I love I hate and love. I have a love-hate relationship with waking up from a realistic nightmare and not being able to move and wondering what's around you and what you're hearing, and is there something just out of the corner of the room looking at you right now? And I know there isn't, because that's crazy. That's crazy talk. But to me, dreams are just fun. It's one of those things that, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's a scientific explanation for dreams, but they're so bizarre. I'll tell you about one more, and then we'll break this first video down, and we'll move on to a few other subjects I got here. Because I'm going to try to do some ketchup tonight. I got a lot of ideas. Ketchup and mustard. No, I don't really like mustard. I don't hate mustard anymore. Nonetheless, okay. When I was a kid, starting when I was about 2 years old, I remember I lived in Yogi Bear Campground. That's a story in and of itself. I gotta write that down. Maybe we'll get to that tonight, too. I lived at Yogi Bear Campground. That's the first time I remember having the dream. I don't know what kind of dinosaur it is. In this dream, it's a very bird-like, chicken-like, almost like a giant chicken with a slightly longer neck, but the beak isn't quite sharp. It's a little blunt at the end. It doesn't have like any plumage like a chicken does, but it reminds me of the body shape, but longer legs and longer neck. It chases me in these dreams, and I can feel it getting closer, and I know I'm not going to make it. And your legs in those dreams, you ever have that happen? Your legs just give out. They're like, nope, screw you. And you're on the ground now, and this thing's approaching you. Well, in my dream, it would always... Corey and Carol have always made fun of me for this. I'm going to show you. This is something you've probably... Well, you may have seen it before, but I think it's a rare thing. There's a spot on my back. It's right there. I can tickle myself so easily with it. Oh, Jesus. Isn't that crazy? But that's where this bird always would peck at me when it got me down, or put its claws onto me, or something like that. Reoccurring dream. I've had it my whole life, up until maybe 10 years ago. I don't remember the last time I had it, but it's been at least 10 years. But I've had it pretty consistently through my life, and it's terrible. And every time when I wake up, I can feel those muscles twitching in my back. Maybe sleeping a certain way brings it on. I don't know. Nonetheless, that's my reoccurring dream. That's my weird snake dream with Griffin, last night. I don't know. So, yeah. I really hope you come back for these next few videos, because I just had a lot that I would like to have done in one, but I know it's going to be... I'm already at almost 15 minutes at this point. So we're looking at least 2 more 15, maybe 3... And I know I don't have to pump these out so quickly, and I know I could save them, and I'd have enough to talk about for almost a whole year. But that's the thing, is every year is precious, every moment's precious, and that's kind of the idea of this. It's recording all these memories and these thoughts and dreams and hopes, and I think it's nice to have this all together, and I'm glad that you're all watching, and people are watching, and people are commenting and tuning, and I'm getting emails, and it just means a lot to me because I'm enjoying doing it, and I would love to see more friends do this where I could see their face and hear their voice again. Like somebody I know mentioned that to me. Like it was really good to see and hear you again. Like, and I think that's true. Like sometimes you talk to people you haven't talked to in like 10 years, and you're like, oh man, the voice brings so much back. It's like all the senses are tied to memories. I think smell is the most powerful. That's true. Oh, Waxorama. We're gonna look up Waxorama when we come back. So you hang in there. If you're not coming back tonight, go make somebody smile. And please, what are you doing? How are you making people smile? How did you make a stranger smile? Did anybody do that? Did anybody actually practice these? And I said, like I've always said, don't feel like I'm your teacher. I'm just saying that I think it'd be nice. I don't know. Spread it. The whole pass it forward was a great idea, and it grew, and it's still happening. Like, you hear stories about it all the time. I think it's time to start making people smile and laugh and sing and make this crazy ball of earth we're spinning on a happier place. Okay, so, yep. Oh, you mother flipper. I would just kill for some. Can I get sponsored by Kahlua? I will mention them in every video from this day forth if they'll sponsor me. I'm not going to. They're not going to, rather. All right, so hang in there. I'll be back in a few, or, I'll see you next time. Okay, be back.